I am Dr. Rhonda Blackburn. I am the co-chair of professional development on these webinars, and I am a past president on the board with CIO. I've done lots of different things over the years with TxDLA, so I can't wait to be able to go through all these and talk to y'all. I know there's others on this call that's excited about talking with y'all about it as well. My partner in crime, my co-chair for professional development is Kelly Irwin. Was hoping she'd be able to join. I don't think she's going to be able to, but I did want to give her a shout out. This is our Texas Bite-Sized Learning webinars. If you got the link from somewhere else and didn't come to our website, we would love for you to join us on our website at txdla.org. To get to the webinars, you just click on webinars and bite-sized learning. You'll see past presentations as along with what's coming. And if you're a member, you get access to everything, which is great. And this week was National Distance Learning Week. We are at the end of it. It is our last day. We had a presentation every single day this week, but I'm so glad. It looks like lots of familiar names from this week. So I'm so glad y'all were able to join us this week on that. So today is Step Up and Lead with TxDLA. Our next webinar is going to be December 13th. It's New Distance Education Rules, What to Know and How to Get Ready. At least that's a working title right now. So it may change, or the title may change, but hopefully we'll be able to get all that information out to you very soon. I want to remind everyone that we have our 2024 conference coming up in March 25th through the 28th in Galveston. The virtual piece of our conference is April 16th through the 17th. And call for proposals are open until Monday. So if you want to get out there and present with us, we would love to see you at the conference and also see you present. So definitely turn in those presentations this weekend. This is a Zoom meeting, so we are recording. I think everyone saw that pop up, but we are going to have a conversation. So there'll be some slides. We're going to go through them really quickly, but then we're going to take down those slides and have a conversation. And so at that point, please open your mic and chat with us. If you're not chatting, go ahead and keep it on mute. So that way, any background noise like my dog, I'm sure will start barking, will come out. That won't disturb when other people are talking. But you can also use our chat. If you have questions, if you have comments, definitely put those in there as well. There's lots of us on this call right now that will be checking on that. So definitely do that. So again, right now, we are going to do Step Up and Lead with TxDLA. Again, I have lots of board members on with me today. Really want to shout out to our board members. I'm actually, for a really quick second, I'm going to stop sharing because I would like to have all of our board members actually introduce themselves really quickly. And so that way, you know who is on the call, who is on the board right now. And so the first person I see on my screen is Texas. So it's Tag, you're it.
All right. I'm Texas Reardon. I am the president-elect of TxDLA. So I am in charge of the 2024 conference. So like what Rhonda said is put in your proposals and recruit some of your people to come. And I guess I'll pass it to Charlene next.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Charlene Stubblefield. I am the secretary of the board, and I'll pass it to Brenda.
Thank you, Charlene. Good morning. I'm Brenda Quintanilla. I'm a board member at large, and I've been a member of TxDLA for about more than 13 years. It's a great organization.
Who are you going to tag next?
I got to pick somebody. Harriet, you're next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Harriet Watkins. I'm the current president of TxDLA, and I've been a member of TxDLA since about 2007. Oh, I got to pick somebody. Eric, tag, you're it, Eric.
Thanks. I'm Eric Miller. I'm the current 2-year director I'm the 2-year representative. So if you're in a 2-year college, I'm your guy. All right, Chris, tag.
All right. Well, I'm Chris Bigenho, and I'm a director of the K-12 constituency. So love to see K-12 folks joining in the community here. And let's see, who do we have? Mary, I'll pass it over to you.
Hi, I'm Mary. I'm board member at large, and I've been with TxDLA 6 years. I'm the youngin. Years-wise, not age-wise. Age-wise, I'm up there, but And because I came in late, I have no idea if I was the last one or not.
I think so. I'm looking at the rest of the people here, and I think we got all of our board members. If we did not, please open your mic and tell us who you are. And I think we got everyone. So I'm going to go ahead again real quickly and start sharing my screen, and we're going to go through some of the ways that you can get involved. We do have our next steps for board elected board services, 4-year higher education board representative. I think I might have got this out of order a little bit. Government, nonprofit, military, 427, and executive partnership council chair. If you are interested in that because they are board elected, please get a hold of Lisa. And the deadline for that is coming up in January the 15th. So you have a little bit of time, but don't procrastinate and get that in there. So we're going to step up and lead. Like I said, I think I got these when I pulled them over. I got them out of order a little bit. So rewards of committee board service, there's a lot of things, and we can talk about this a little bit more once we kind of go through these slides. But I know for me, building up my leadership skills, meeting tons of new people, which is so exciting. Personal fulfillment. I mean, there's a lot of things here that you can learn and the skills that you could build. And so as we're going through these, any of y'all board members, if you have a passion for saying something, definitely open your mic and let me know. But these are definitely a lot of the skills that a lot of us, when we stepped in, we're building up, or maybe didn't have it all, and we're able to get those. But there's so much more. I mean, I'm sure if we go around to every single board member, they will tell you that there was a different reason they got on the board, and also the things that they build inside themselves as they have been on the board. The role of a committee member. So we have committees and we have the board members. Again, I thought I brought these in order, and it looked like I kind of screwed this up. But anyway, so role of a committee member is to accomplish the task that is decided on for that committee, and being able to understand what that agenda is and how do you play a role. And by working with the chair of that committee, you'd be able to really determine what are the action items and those agenda items that you would need to work on. All of the committees support TxDLA in one way or another. So it's a really exciting way to definitely get involved. One of the first things that I tell people is get on a committee, because if you get on a committee, then you learn a little bit more about TxDLA in that way, but to also hopefully go to the Texas Fall Leadership Workshop, which we just had last week, which was awesome. It was great seeing everyone. But it does give you an opportunity to kind of get in and kind of find your place. It looks like Eric was agreeing with me. The role of the committee chair. So now we're kind of stepping up. We come in, maybe you're a committee member, then you're like, okay, got this. Maybe it's time for me to step up as a chair. You lead that committee, you organize the meetings and the agendas, you encourage member participation. You prepare the reports and things like that actually go to Lisa for our board members, our board meetings. And you actually serve as a liaison with the board of directors or the president. So that way, because some of these committees are part of the board, so you are actually a board member, but there's other committees that is under the president. So the president has different committees. So it depends on where that falls, is who you kind of like report up to, but be able to give them that information that's going on within your committee. And the nice thing about being a chair is that you are definitely an active member of that committee. Hopefully everyone on your committee is, but by stepping up being a chair, you get a little bit more involved with that. So these are all the different TxDLA committees that we have. We have awards, we have the conference. Conference is a big one. And it is a great place to get started, because if you come to a conference, you see all the kind of what's going on. But when you become part of the committee, you get to see all the intricate parts that go on with that, and get to work very closely with the president-elect. And again, get to learn a little bit more about TxDLA. Finance committee, if you love numbers like I do, numbers are fun. Finance committee is always a great place. Governance, if you like bylaws and making sure that the organization runs well, that's there. Hall of Fame, every year we try to nominate a Hall of Fame inductee into our Hall of Fame. Information committee, that is a way to hopefully get our information out. I love that committee because I'm chair. So if you want to work with me, come and get on the information committee. Journal, we do have a journal, and that committee is always looking for not only people to submit to the journal, but reviewers and things like that. Membership is a big one because we like members. We love getting people involved and bringing those people in. Professional development. That's another one of my committees. Yay. If you want to become part of the professional development committee, do these webinars, do certifications, things like that. There's that. Public policy. A lot of things are going on right now. I mean, we are in our fifth session, I believe, special session right now in Texas. What does that look like every time something happens? I know a couple of y'all love public policy, so we'd love to see you on that one. Scholarships.
Special session.
That's fourth. I'm sorry. I lost track because we have too many. Scholarships. So the scholarship committee actually started when I was president, and it actually allows people that may not have the support or the funds. They could turn in application to get a scholarship. It has been a great way, and it's so much fun to be able to see those people be able to come to the conference that may not be able to. Special interest groups. We have changed from doing regional groups to special interest groups, and that's kind of been a transition over the last year or so. And those are always fun to be able to get people involved with those different areas. So those are all of our different committees. Did I miss anything from anyone out there? Okay, so this is really, I went through it really quickly, but this is a really quick highlight. One of the things that's nice is that you can have this slideshow, so that way you can dig a little deeper into each one, because each one of these will tell you a little bit more, kind of what I did at a very high level, but it also tells you the number of hours that you may be spending. So like the awards, it's really January to April, and it's 3 to 12 hours in total, right? So it's a very easy committee. It's fun committee. I love be able to give awards away to people. Hall of Fame and grants are the same thing. It's January to April, 3 to 6 hours. Conference, it's June through April. I really think it's more like April to April, but it usually conference committee goes all year the time, and it's depend on what subcommittee you're in. It could be 1 to 12 hours, but usually monthly. And whoever the president is elect is, like Texas said this year, he is running the conference. He kind of works with each person each group individually to do that. Scholarships is March to about October. That's 5 to 6 hours in total. Finance committee is 2 to 3 hours total from April to June, and usually less than an hour a month, because you're always having to make sure that we are good financially. Governance is about less than 2 hours total from November to January, plus about 6 to 12 hours total over the 3 years that you're on the governance committee. The journal, I forgot to move that up a little bit, but the journal is about 1 to 4 hours per month, and information committee is 2 to 8 hours per month, because we are wanting to get stuff out there. Love to find people that really love social media and all that good marketing stuff. Membership is about 1 to 4 hours a month. It's really trying to figure out ways to get new members, but also one of the current initiatives is a mentorship program. So that's always fun when we have those new initiatives that come in. Professional development is 2 to 8 hours per month, really depending on what we're doing. Like this week was a little bit more because we actually had National Distance Learning Week, so we had to plan a little bit more on that. But other months may only take 2 hours figuring out what we're doing and actually being hopefully on the webinar. Public policy, 2 to 5 hours, 2 to 5. It says actually 2 to 8, 2 to 8 hours per month. And special interest group, about 4 to 6 hours per month. A lot of this is definitely supported by our executive manager, which is Lisa, which she is amazing and keeps us going and on track. So wanted to give her a shout out there. So the open board positions right now. So nominations, nominated and elected by membership. This is November and December election process. What's going on right now? We have a member at large. It's always open every single year. So we have 3 of them, and 1 comes up open every single year. So we have 1 of those for 24-27. Secretary comes open for 24 through 26. And president-elect. They start out that first year as president-elect, then you become president, and then you become immediate past president. So that's a fun one. Maybe I'm a little biased because I've done it, but I see Harriet there too. She's also done it. There's a lot of past presidents on this, and presidents and immediate past presidents on this call right now.
Rhonda, did you already say that the president-elect is the one that plans the conference? Or I don't know if you said that already. I may have missed it.
Yeah, and we could definitely, because that's so important when it comes to president-elect. And I think that Texas did it. I don't remember who else said it. Thank you, Charlie. But yeah, when you become president-elect, one of the things that we throw you into is that conference. But I would say that out of my 3 years from president-elect present to immediate past president, they're all a little different. But I loved being president-elect and doing the conference and bringing everyone together. So it's a lot of work, but it is fun. It is so much fun. But thank you, Charlene, for bringing that up. Now, there are nominated board positions that the board of directors does. So that happens in January. And this year, we have opened the 4-year higher ed board representative. We have the government, nonprofit, military. We have executive partnership council, and we also have parliamentarian. That one is actually open, has an immediate opening. So if you are interested, if you love being a parliamentarian or Robert's rules, all of that fun stuff, I've actually read Robert's rules, believe it or not, and it wasn't just to fall asleep at night. It's really interesting. And if you're interested, we need someone immediately on that one. All terms begin on July 1st, and that the year ends obviously June 30th. And so as you see, these are mostly 3-year terms, but like when you become president-elect, you are president-elect from July 1st through June 30th. But I can tell you, you are pulled in, and after you're elected as president-elect, you're already working because you're already thinking about your conference, what you're going to be doing, how you're going to be doing it. So it does usually start a little bit before that. But then on July 1st, that next year, you become the president and you do the fall leadership workshop to really plan your presidency and leading TxDLA. And then that goes through June 30th. And then July 1st, that next year, that third year, you become immediate president. You are there to mentor, to help the president and president-elect, and you are also in charge of Hall of Fame and Don Fauché. There's another one. Anyway, but that's for the president. The things that we look for when we are looking for board skills, one of the things that you want to think about in yourself, do some self-reflection. We love to do strategic planning, project management, communication, organization, so leadership, all of these different things, but also depending on the specific role. So if you're president, you have to be comfortable speaking in front of people, right? You have to be able to be a public speaker because you are in front of people doing that. As secretary, you need attention to detail. You can ask Charlene all about that because she's secretary right now. As I said, with parliamentarian, you got to have a knowledge of Robert's rules. Again, they're so much fun. I can talk to you all day long about them, but you have to want that. And you also have to have firmness and empathy because the parliamentarian is the one that is kind of making sure that the meetings move along and that people are following Robert's rules. And you definitely have to have an active TxDLA membership and curiosity. I love that one. And, it says a few years of membership. It is to get on the board. I would always encourage people to not only come to Fall Leadership Workshop in the fall, but also get involved with the committee. If you get involved with the committee, again, you get to learn about that committee, but also how TxDLA runs and how it moves and morphs and does things. And then, maybe step up into a chair for the president for one of those committees, and then maybe into the board or something like that. So you can definitely look at different ways of getting, but committee work is, I would say, one of the first things that I would do. So role of all board members, when we talk about TxDLA, you are there to make sure TxDLA is running and running smoothly, and you have that leadership role in that. Ensure TxDLA activities are advancing its mission and goals. We always look back at our mission and goals to make sure that everything we do is in the best interest of TxDLA. Ensure TxDLA obeys, oh my gosh, I can't talk, applicable laws and regulations and its bylaws. So we are a 503c3 nonprofit organization. So we do have federal laws that we have to abide by, or we could lose our nonprofit status. So we always have to kind of keep those things in the back of our mind. Ensure TxDLA adheres to its purposes and mission. And kind of we were saying, we always go back and making sure that any initiatives that we put in place, does it match our mission, vision, the goals that we have? You need to attend at least 4 board members per year. 2 of them will be virtual, serve on at least one committee, and commit to attend conference and fall leadership workshop and participate in regular electronic discussions and votes. That's really big. If you're not able to make the board meetings or even conference or fall leadership, we are missing that leadership from you to be able to move TxDLA forward. So love to be able to see people get on board and participate and actively promote TxDLA and support its staff. And time, and mostly for directors only, is 4 hours per month. So, thinking of all of those, being able to align with where you are and what you're doing kind of helps you determine, is it just a committee that you need to be involved with? Is it being a board member? Things like that. So these are so like we said, there are certain positions that are open. Role of secretary is one of them. Charlene, since you are secretary right now, would you like to speak to this particular slide?
Sure. One thing that Rhonda has not alluded to is, even though these roles have a lot of hours, we do have a management company that we work with, and I know you've all received emails from Lisa Tomzio. So even though I'm the secretary and I do pay attention to detail, because many of the secretary roles are duplicated by what Lisa handles, a lot of it, she makes it so easy. So joining as a secretary is a great way to kind of get on the board, but not do the really, really heavy lifting like you would have to do as president-elect. And then I'll plug this while I go. We're one of the few organizations, I believe, that when we have this role as Lisa, don't think of, as Rhonda was going through all of, how difficult many of the roles can be. You have someone going with you step by step by step with Lisa. She reminds you of what you need to do, when you need to do it. She just makes it so much easier. So the secretary, like for instance, I'm techie, so she may be writing down the names of the people attending, whereas I'm just doing a screen snap of everybody attending. So those are things that we do. Again, many of the meetings now, because of Zoom and things like this, it's recorded. So you don't have to take the detailed notes like we used to have to take. Or I'm there to remind, maybe there was something. I'll tell you, being a part of TxDLA, we're very passionate. That means some of our discussions can go on and on. We're respectful, but it can be passionate. So sometimes as a secretary, you have to sit back and kind of hear, what's the bigger picture? Where do we land on this discussion and that type of thing? So that's kind of where the secretary role is. But I'll be honest, most of it is handled by Lisa Tomzio.
Definitely. Yeah. I definitely shout out to Lisa. She is amazing. And one of the things that when it comes to recording within the minutes is basically action items that we vote on and things like that. That becomes really important. I see Lisa is raising her hand. So yes, Lisa.
I'm not going to share because it's been a morning every week. I just wanted to add something in these roles like secretary, treasurer, president-elect, all of those roles are part of the executive committee. So even though I may help handle some of the specifics that are written in the bylaws, like taking the minutes or, whatever, or doing the financials, really a really important role of being on the executive committee is that you're almost in a different leadership role because that committee meets separately from the board of directors. So you're kind of responsible for some of the day-to-day activities and conversations. So we'll often meet monthly-ish. Kind of depends what's going on. Some years we have a lot going on and there's a lot of tasks that committee kind of has to work on. And so you are kind of more of kind of a leadership and a vote on that committee. So that it's really important. I just wanted to kind of emphasize that in addition to some of these things that are on the list.
Definitely. Thank you. So when it comes to the role of president, I believe we have Harriet still on since she is our current president right now, maybe.
I said, I can't talk. I'm muted, everybody. At least one person does that on every Zoom meeting. They're talking, you can't hear. Yeah. So, okay. Hey, guys. Hey. So, as the president, you are the person in charge of keeping the wheels moving along the track. And it's a role that you cannot do alone, right? So, you're basically just ensuring that all the programs and projects that we have going within TxDLA keep moving along. So, like with the executive committee, I would call them together and then we'll talk about how are these projects moving along the track, okay, as president. It was great to have, as president-elect, the opportunity to put the conference together because that kind of prepares you for the presidency. You don't have all those different things happening that's related to a conference, but you still have the programs and projects of TxDLA to keep moving around down the track. So that's your big role as president. I love it. It's a great job. It's great to have, but you don't do it alone. And I want to echo everything everyone said about Lisa. I don't care what she says. She tries to downplay her role, but her role is pivotal. And we couldn't keep this organization together without her. She's awesome. So if anybody has questions about that, just let me know.
Perfect. Well, I think as soon as we take this down, we're going to open it up and have a bigger discussion. So thank you, Harriet. President-elect, so I'm going to bring Texas up on the screen, wherever he is.
I'm here. I got my microphone unmuted. So the role of president-elect is, like we've mentioned, is you're in charge of the conference. You work a lot with Lisa. She kind of keeps you on track and, make sure you're hitting all your deadlines. So she's a great resource, as well as all the past presidents who have done the various conferences over the past 20 plus years. What you need and what you do is you select your committee. So we have programs, technology, engagement. We added an accessibility committee this year, and I'm missing one. Vendors, partners. And then this year, what we did also is we created a champion with them. So it's kind of a co-chair. So hopefully that co-chair or champion can take over the following year, or they have at least that experience. We've kind of run into the issue with a lot of people, keep on doing it. And, some of us are retiring, not me, but, so, we want to get that experience and, get more people involved in those committees to see how the different parts run. I know I've been on the engagement committee before. I've been on programs, and I've helped various other committees as well in my 10 years here. And really what you do, you meet with your individual committees, and then about October, November, you start to have the full committee meetings together to kind of see where everybody's at and everything. And it's eye-opening, but you have a lot of support, everybody mentions Lisa, we couldn't do it without her. And then really the big thing is once you get elected as president-elect is really coming up with your theme, hopefully by the end of the conference in the spring, just so we can announce it. So I know we planned it out. We brainstormed, I'll say, at the last conference and came up with our theme for this one. I think that's all I got. Did I miss anything past presidents?
No.
I'll say that being president, I had the fortunate or unfortunate, you can figure it out which one you want to go with, of being president-elect coming into the pandemic. And it was very eye-opening, stressful. You can imagine, definitely worked closely with Lisa to determine, would we lose money? Would we gain money? Would the vendors, the hotels, refunded? And I believe that we came out better than a lot of other associations, but it was, you plan it until you don't know what's going to happen next. And I can say that definitely when I came in, we had an unusual situation where there were people who were no longer in distance learning. So I didn't necessarily have a president and a past president to lean onto. So we tried to make a point of let's document this. And I know I've been working with Harriet and Janelle and also Alayda, where we wanted to document it so that when the president comes in, there's this blueprint. Your creative part comes in, like Texas said, where you have to come up with your theme and what's your thought. So I would challenge anyone on here who's considering president-elect, if there's any part of the conference that you say, I wish they would, and there's a fill in the blank, then you're the perfect person that should try to be a part of this role. Part of it'll be you'll get to put your own input. The other part, you'll see, oh, I see why they don't do that. This makes sense. So that's what I would say as a part of this role. It is a lot of work, but believe me, as Texas was saying, you have all of these committee folks, and of course, you're going to choose people who you know are going to get in there and do the work and report back to you, but you're not a one-man show at all. You have a lot of support. I remember with ours, at the point that we were evaluating the proposals, it was just at a time of the year that the folks on the proposal committee were just extremely busy. And Rhonda was the person that I leaned on, who she literally told me how she did it. I did not believe it, or I didn't think it would take all that much. She kept saying, oh, I just went in and I got these index cards with the proposal names on them, and I put them on the wall. And I'm thinking, we're technical. We should be using technology to do this. I'm going to tell you, when it came down to it, to really see the schedule and how to really arrange it, I had to go old-fashioned, old school, and put these,
post-it
index cards and posters all over my office wall, and it worked. But the point I'm saying is, even if some of the people maybe on your committee get too busy or they get pulled away, there are other people on the board, and I don't even know if Rhonda was on the board at that time. She just kept telling me, listen, if you need help, I will help you. And I've tried to do the exact same thing to the past presidents behind me or the current folks behind me, to be there is a supportive atmosphere with TxDLA. So as you're evaluating, should I select this? I don't know if I'll have the time. I promise you, if your thought is, I don't think I'll have the time, you're probably wrong. You probably will have the time because of the support that you will have, not just from Lisa, not just from the current board, but from past board members.
And I would also that if you are interested in stepping up as president-elect, I think it is extremely important to be on the conference committee. One of the best roles on the conference committee to be a part of is program, because that is the biggest piece of the conference. I mean, if you don't have sessions, you don't have a program, right? So, I would highly encourage anyone that wants to go in that role. I mean, I did that. I know several of us on this that became president-elects have done that, have got on the conference committee. So that way it allows you to see, one, what it takes, two, what other past president-elects have done, what worked well, what didn't work well. You were able to collaborate with them. And so, I mean, I think that probably every president-elect has been on a conference committee before they became president-elect. And I would highly encourage anyone that if that's kind of the trajectory you're thinking, definitely get on the conference committee. And it doesn't mean, we're not saying that you have to be president-elect or president or immediate past president, but that if that's where you want to go, I would say that's a good stepping stone to it. So immediate past president, yeah, I was right. Not Fishay. I was like, there was another one, but one of the biggest things so there's a couple of things with president-elect. There's a lot of president-elects on this, or president-elects, immediate past presidents on this call. Our immediate past president right now is Janelle Paul, and I don't think she joined us today. But again, there's a lot of the past presidents here that could talk about this. But I want to say the biggest role of immediate past president is a support role. It is supporting your president and your president-elect, making sure that if they have any questions, if they are, kind of stressed about something, you're there to just be that support behind them, answer questions, ask if, what can I do? One of the roles that immediate past president has is they do chair the Hall of Fame committee. And I think there's a couple of us that are Hall of Fames. I know I'm on the Hall of Fame, but I think there are a couple of us on this call as well. If Tiffany wants to talk about what that looks like, we are more than happy to jump on a call with you as well. And a Don Fauché grant. Don Fauché was one of our beginning presidents. I mean, he helped start the organization, and when he passed away, we started a grant in his name. And so the immediate past president actually gets to do that as well, which is always fun. Like here, it says an advisory role to the president and president-elect, but I would say that that is a huge, huge. They're still on the executive committee, and so they can help, I guess, again, guide and support. And of course, they serve on the finance committee. Executive Partnership Council. So our Executive Partnership Council, what that is our partners. We create a council that they can be one person from each of our partners can be a part of. And they really become an advisory board to TxDLA. And the Executive Partnership Council chair helps kind of organize that, develop, grow our partners. So they work very closely with our partner chair for the conference. Actually, I think this year it's the same person. They're doing both, maybe, but it's really trying to find those corporate sponsorships or partnerships that help with the annual conference. They try to pull together at least 2 meetings per year with Executive Partnership Council. It is an amazing group. They see what's going on. They get a different view of how TxDLA is working, and are an amazing advisory group. And with that, the EPC chair also helps make sure that there is visibility for those partners within our organization. I think Kelly is our EPC chair right now, right? Yeah, and I knew she wasn't able to be back. So role of parliamentarian, again, this is an immediate need. We would love someone to step up if they love Robert's rules, but they're a non-voting member of the board. And one thing about a parliamentarian, if you've never been a parliamentarian before, is parliamentarians don't actually discuss or talk within a meeting. They are there to help guide and move the meeting along. When there are motions, when people are speaking, amendments, things like that, they help guide that process. And then they do attend the executive committee and board meetings. And every 3 years, they review our bylaws with the governance committee just to make sure that our bylaws are on the up and up and we are doing what we're supposed to be doing. They also are looking at right now electronic voting procedures, because there are times that we do need to vote electronically that we're not able to pull a board meeting together. And so we're looking at that. Again, if anyone is interested, please reach out to Lisa and let her know that you would love to come in as parliamentarian. So next steps. So if you are interested in volunteering, and that could be on a committee, that could be, conference committee, professional development committee, information committee, any of those committees that's out there. This is a QR code and also a website that you could go to and fill out and let us know that you would like to volunteer. I'm going to keep it on this page for us. Good. Anybody who wants to talk about this while people are scanning and taking that URL and tell us they want to volunteer? Yes.
I'm interested to see if anybody has any questions for us for any of the specific roles that we've mentioned. Are there any questions?
I don't know if I don't have the chat open. Hopefully someone has the chat open.
I'm watching the chat.
Okay.
So not yet.
Okay. Well, there's also next steps on member elected board service, member at large, secretary, president-elect. There's a nomination form. Scan in that QR code, or there's the URL. We would love to have people on this call submit their names. The deadline is November 22nd. So we just have a little bit of time right before Thanksgiving. This will end, but make sure that you are turning in your name. And then next steps so if you want to be the parliamentarian, please fill out this nomination form. Or if you know someone that would be amazing parliamentarian, you can also probably do that too. And we can reach out to them and see. Again, the deadline is the 22nd. I love these tiny URLs that Lisa put together for us. So again, board elected service, 4-year higher ed board representative will be 24 to 27. Government, nonprofit, military board representative, 2024 to 27. Executive Partnership Council, again, 2024 to 2027. The deadline for those is January 15th. So you have a little bit of time to think about it, but don't think too hard. Just turn your name in. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing at the moment. And we have about 10 to 12 minutes that if anyone does want to ask questions, if anyone wants to know more information about a particular thing. Yes, George.
Sorry to interrupt. I was filling out the form right now, and I just saw for committees, so I just put parliamentarian and special down at the bottom. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. So we know someone is turning in their name. How many of I see the people that have their cameras on, they're very busily filling out those forms, which is amazing. Bridget, you're funny.
Hey, Rhonda, I'd like to say something to try to spur this along. For those of you that are just kind of wondering, should I do this or not? When we say that everybody will help you, everybody will absolutely help you. This is one of those groups that there's zero judgment. Even when we do disagree with each other, there's zero personal feelings. It is a phenomenal group. I came in, I said in the introduction, like I was one of the youngest members, and I immediately got adopted by everybody. It was phenomenal. And I love this group. I've been in a part of a lot of professional development groups. I mean, because my university pays for it, but I wanted to find a home, and this was it. It's small enough where we actually get to know each other, we help each other, we support each other. Professionally, I've helped people, and like I said, on the board, I've had so much help and this wealth of knowledge. So if you're kind of looking for a place to kind of be more of a home, a place where you're kind of hanging out with your peeps, and then you only see them once a year, maybe this is definitely the board you want to be on, or the committees, because it's probably one of the most rewarding things I've done, and I refuse to leave, so they're stuck with me. But I really love TxDLA and the mission that we have. So if you're on the fence about it, just try it. I tell you, everybody here is so welcoming, and we want different viewpoints. We want different experiences. We need that to succeed. So yeah, don't be afraid to step up. I promise you will not be shouldering anything by yourself. That's not how it works here, and we don't want you to. That was just my little spiel.
Thank you, Mary. Yes, I would echo everything Mary just said. I've been part of TxDLA since 2000, so 23 years. And I would say that anything that I've wanted to do over that time, if it was committee work, if it was just trying to get involved when I'm at the conference, or stepping up into the board, there has always been someone right there supporting me, helping me, encouraging me to get more involved. So we are here to encourage all of y'all to get more involved. Would love to see, and again, if you're like, I'm not really sure about this, see about getting on a committee, turn in that volunteer form. I know a couple of y'all did come to the fall leadership workshop. We already have you on a committee. We are going to get started with that. Can I show codes again? Yes. Let me go back real quick. Let me share my screen, and I will go back and show those codes again for you. There is the volunteer form.
Some of you may have people who
I actually share.
Oh, sorry. Some of you may have people who are not on this call, but you believe they may be a great fit. You're welcome to add their names to it. Feel free. Some people call it being voluntold, and that's okay.
But yeah, I love, especially if it's people you work with and you're like, this would be a perfect thing to help. We talked about those skill sets at the very beginning and looked at that, and you're like, I have someone that is in the same office as me, and I think that they could build up this particular skill set. I would love to, even if it's just this volunteer form, to be able to say, I want to volunteer. And trust me, we can find a place for you. So I'm trying to think of, so there's the one for member elected. So that's the member at large, secretary, and president-elect. And those are due on the 22nd of this month. And that is for parliamentarian, need a parliamentarian. That is also due on the 22nd. Sorry. There was another QR code, maybe somewhere. Well, I would say that if you want to be with board elected positions, which we do that in January, definitely reach out to Lisa and let her know, or contact any of the board members that introduced ourselves earlier. Well, is there anything else in the chat that y'all see? Okay. So definitely want to thank all of y'all for coming, because I think it's so exciting to see so many people on this call that are interested in being involved with TxDLA. And I echo everyone that jumped on the call and said, or opened their mic and said, this is an amazing organization. Like I said, I've been part of this organization for 23 years. And why? It's because of the people. Everyone is so amazing and welcoming and warm. So excited that y'all are here. But I do want to remind oh yes, Texas.
Oh, I don't know what you're going to remind them of, but I was going to say, remind everybody that proposals are due on Monday. Reach out to your people at your institutions, your jobs, your friend that's in, this digital learning down the road or whatever. Get them to submit and get them to come to the conference. It's going to be a good time.
Definitely. Yeah. So want to remind you, our next webinar is on December 13th. It is the new distance education rules, what to know and how to get ready. Remember to always see what's going on with our bite-sized learning series. It's the second Wednesday of every month. Go to TxDLA.org and go to webinars and bite-sized learning and be able to see what we're having there. Could not do any of this without our amazing partners. I did see David on this call from Anthology. We have Canvas and D2L as our diamond partners. Our platinum partner is Digital Resources. Silver partners is Panopto and Howard. Bronze partners is HonorLock, Inside Track, Proctorio, Pronto, Respondus, Science Interactive, and our amazing friends over at Prairie View A&M in the Center for Instructional Innovation and Technology Services. That's Charlene. Sweet lover.
Yep.
And so I was, Texas, going to remind everyone about the conference, but thank you. This is another reminder. We do have our conference coming up the March 25th through the 28th in 2024. Our virtual conference on April 16th and 17th. And call for proposals are open until Monday. So please turn it in. You could do both. You could turn it in for both in-person and virtual, or just in-person, or just virtual. Or you could say, I prefer in-person, but I could do it in both. Things like that. There's all those options on there. And Texas did an amazing job yesterday on talking about presentation. So if you did not see it, we will be posting it and you can go back and watch it. But definitely would love to see every single person on this call at the conference and definitely come up and say hi to all of us. Being a member of TxDLA, hopefully all of y'all are members. We are an individual member organization. And so there's lots of ways to get involved, but there is community. We talk about leading education, but we also are out there in all of our constituencies. So I'm in corporate. I know Harriet is. We have higher ed. We have K-12. We have nonprofit, we have military, we have everything. And we love that because we are inclusive. But we would love you to become a member if you're not already. It is $35 right now, but I think in January it goes up to $50. So make sure that you are becoming a member now. And also follow us. You can follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and also just come to our website at any time at TxDLA.org and learn more. And so I think that is all. And we are only 1 minute away from the end of the hour. But if there are any other questions or anything else, please let us know and reach out to all of us. We would love to hear from you.